Wow, you got to understand this. This is I Am Hip Hop. I am hip hop, they are hip hop, and we are hip hop.
Say, what's the name of this nation? Zulus, Zulus. And who's gonna get on down? The cosmic force, the cosmic force. Chitty chitty bang bang, we all your main thing. Listen to the song that she is gonna sing.
Too many people in hip hop is just trying to stay with the four basic elements: the DJs, the MCs, the aerosol writers, or the B-boys and the B-girls. But a lot trying to not deal with the fifth, and that's dealing with the knowledge. Because with the knowledge, you would know how to work all the other elements, and with the knowledge, you would know what's going on in your community, in your city, in your town, in your country, and in your land. So until we start dealing with the fifth element, the hip-hop community really can't do nothing if they don't want to deal with knowledge. Now, once they deal with knowledge, they can organize themselves in the different communities, cities, towns, country to country, land to land, and be part of organizations that know how to deal with the politics or the politics, and know how to organize themselves, whether they be on police watch or being community advisor in their communities. The main thing is to get people interested in hip hop, studying law, knowing on the law of the land, knowing all the Constitution, knowing about international law, whether it be the Magna Carta and all the other different things, knowing about the Uniform Commercial Code, the UCCs and everything like that. Until you could study law and know how to use law and become a power in law, you really can't do nothing. And you could protest as much as you want, but the same crap keeps going on and on. The same people keep getting shot. And another thing for many of the so-called black people who are the indigenous to the whole earth in every part, they need to go back and study who they are. You know, what was you called before 1492? And this deals with everybody, you know, because you wasn't called so-called black, brown, yellow, red, or white people. What was you called before 1492? Was you a Cushite, a Nubian, a Moor, a Theban, a Sumerian, a Canaanite? So you need to go back and find out what is your indigenous names or ancient names, so you can know what to start calling yourself, because that's how they deal with people through nationalities. Not if you say I'm so-called black, brown, yellow, red, and white. What does that mean? You know, where's black land, white land, yellow land, red land, orange land, pink land, and all that? So what is your nationality and what is your birthright? And once you know all that, that's how you can start dealing with people through international law and through treaties. The infinity lessons of the Universal Zulu Nation is everything that's anything and anything that's everything, dealing with many different ideologies from all over the earth, taken from many different scholars or many different teachers and leaders that gave information to uplift many of the human family on the planet. So we could take stuff, whether it be from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Nation of Islam, Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Morris Science Temple, Dr. Malachi York and Al Saru Allah community, or the Nuwabian Nations of More, or taken from John Lennon, the Solana Family Stone, taken from you know, all the sciences that comes dealing with metaphysics from across the seas, taken from India, taken from caliphs and imams and rabbis and priests, anything that's dealing with knowledge on this planet as well as beyond this planet, from any type of communication that people might got. Only thing that we want is to deal with factology versus belief, meaning beliefs you don't know or understand. You could say anything, I believe, really means you don't know. But once you get the facts, then you definitely know.
Speak about destruction. Speak about destruction. Speak about destruction. This is a world destruction. Your life ain't nothing. The human race is becoming
The role of the Universal Zulu Nation as an international hip-hop awareness movement and an autonomous government within many governments with many different nationalities and different ideologies is to always deal with that fifth element, the knowledge, knowing and trying to deal with the facts and getting up and do something for self, something for you, something for your family, each one teach one, feed one, help one, and reach out to one. Yeah, I always think about many lives hip hop has saved. I understand when we travel, many people have come to us and say how hip hop has saved their life, and I always ask them, well, please give me some points on how hip hop has saved you. And you're just interested with certain people come up, you know, they could have led a life of crime and hip hop saved them, be an MC or DJ or aerosol rider or to do different things in their community. Hip hop has gave people different education in different communities. Hip hop has people who would never eventually speak to each other because of different religions or so-called races or nationalities who they profess to be, have started to speak to each other, cross each other's territories, stepped in each other's places of worship or respect to each other when they from town to town, city to city, land to land. Or they want to know if you're hip hop, then I could deal and speak with you. So it has crossed many areas where politics couldn't cross. I see the vision of hip hop going through transformation as we become galactic human beings. I see hip hop definitely going to many different other planets as we start to travel, and seeing many other beings giving different aspects to the culture of hip hop. It would change from whatever places that we decide to travel and land on, and speaking with those beings or dealing with those beings, something else might be added to the hip hop culture, and it would go through a dramatic change. Afro-futurism, dealing with the word Afro, there's no O in Africa from the beginning, but dealing with what is meaning is Afrofuturism is what's going to go on with so-called Africans in the future of the world, whether it be movies, politics, music, whether it be scientists or whatever else, is just dealing with the future of Africans. But I don't know why they deal with the word Afro. We used to Afro. Afro really means with your hair puffed out and you have an Afro. People started using that word to represent Africans, but you know, Afro is with an A. So you know, we got to look at the etymology of what is the word Afro. It would definitely be The Matrix. The Matrix is one of the most powerful films that anybody could go and watch, and they need to watch the Matrix movie 15 times before you could get a full understanding of it. And when you finish watching that 15 times, go back and watch the other 15 times, because there's really 4 of them, and there's even 2 more that's coming. So this is powerful because it deals with what's going on in life, what people really think they know about life, but really don't know about life. And it gives you an understanding of how we all has been under a mind control slavery system, like Grace Jones say, a slave to the rhythm. Well, I definitely would come with some James Brown, the ultimate. I don't care what James music is played, it's gonna make something shake or something groove. I would come with Sly and the Family Stone, because his music had some way of bringing gaps of beings and people together. I would come with that P-Funk, because he took you to space, underground, aqua boogie and funkatelity, and so he was dealing with the science of space and beyond. And then I would take different things with tone, sound, and even Close Encounter of the Third Kind, certain music soundtracks, and a lot of soul, like Aretha Franklin or some Curtis Mayfield, Isley Brothers. And then, let them see the wild part of the earth, giving them some of that Rolling Stone, some of that Foghat, some of the Beatles, and, some of the Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley. So definitely Motown. They definitely want to feel different vibrations from the Motown sound.
for renegades. Renegades of this atomic age.
Dealing with any type of racism, I don't care whether it's Nazi skinheads or even among yourself, is given the factology of knowledge. You know, dealing with where people come from, who is the original man and original woman versus mankind. So if it's mankind, that means it has been original man and original woman. Dealing with all the aspects of the world, whether it's to Australia, to the Americas, you know, any part on this great planet and beyond the planet. You know, there's people that they claim was on this planet. There's the Zulus who said they come from Mars, on Amazulu. You got the Dogons who said they come from Sirius A and B. Everybody's still trying to find out where them Nubian, Moorish comedians of ancient Egypt come from. You have your black Arabs from the indigenous of Arabia, and you have your what they call the untouchables of India, and the same in the Philippines. So we just got to stop lying to each other. This is how respect comes back in, when people know what really happened and not taking and, you know, glorifying white supremacy and changing history to glorify yourself. Even putting things like Christmas, with Jesus being born in the 25th, you know, where was he born and what time in the period and where did he come from and how did he look? The Bible tells you a whole different reflection of what Jesus' name is. And is that the real name, or are we just making up names and putting there? And people don't know there are many different Jesuses, you know, so we got to deal with factology versus the beliefs. The whole of our little scientists in our communities, and get them to develop things for ourselves. Even the technology, all these EMF waves and waveforms that's messing up our body, how to take their science that they could teach us how to use. If you're using a cellular phone, that you're not cooking your brain, or like they say, if you put 4 telephones, if we all in the car together and we all using our cell phone, we might be in a microwave and going all through our bodies. So some of these little ones could be the scientists' future that could to save many lives, that might come up with something that would stop many diseases that could save them that gets famine. California is going through a crazy drought. I don't know what they washing their ass with or drinking with certain water. So we need those scientists that could bring about water to certain places that could never have water. In Africa, India, or cleaning our waters that we all messed up as human beings by disrespecting our great planet. Oh, I love it. I love any part of our hip hop family, brothers and sisters and brothers, who are doing anything to use the filament to wake up the masses of the people who's been under a big mind control. Yeah, there's many people who still dancing. It's how that DJ push the music to make them dance. We just don't want people to be programmed robots or wallflowers when they come to an event where you just so much program from your top 40 radio station, and that's all you want to hear is the top 40, but don't want to hear all the true music that's being out there. So I blame a lot of the program directors on these radio stations who will play the same 10 or 15 records over and over and over and over and over again, and not open up and play all the other different fields of music. I don't care what music it is. When I go to stations and they say I'm hip hop and R&B, after I finish with them, they be rushing me out because I ask them, where's your, you know, your Miami bass, your electro funk, your go-go, your trip hop, your hip house, you know, where's your Kraftwerk, where's your James Brown, where's your Sly? You say you hip hop, and if you country, western, funk, soul, jazz, African, classical, play the old with the new with the old, for it becomes true school. Well, most people when they say hip hop, they don't know what they're talking about. When they say hip hop, they automatically think of a rapper. They don't think of all the other elements in hip hop as a culture and a movement. And then some people try to cause apartheid with this is real hip hop and that's fake hip hop, or rap recording artists pretending it's not part of hip hop. All of it is part of hip hop. It goes through its different evolutionary changes. If it goes into different fields of music, you people that just hear one beat of hip hop, boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, you know, and think that's all hip hop. Everything is slow. But then others don't understand the electro funk sound that has the up tempo hip hop. Then there's even the speedier hip hop dealing with the drum and bass and jungle and stuff. Then you got other things, you know, added hip hop beats to the other music. You got country western now using hip hop beats. You have some people that classical music adding drum and hip hop beats to it. And then people don't understand the music of hip hop has taken from all other fields of music. So why not other music can't take from what hip hop has given back from what they have taken? So it's just like a merry-go-round. What comes around goes around. Oh, there's this queen coming out of Georgia by the name of Saroc, S-A-R-O-C. Very intelligent sister that has, she got something to say to the world, and as well as the great immortal technique. And you know, still the basics that I, you know, still love, the Busta Rhymes and the Missies and the Outkast and many of those. And then there's a lot of the trap type grooves that's funky, the way they mixing all the records and bringing it down to the trap or dirty sound. You know, you keep changing the name, like electro funk to electronica to electro house and all that. So there's a lot of good music with many different DJs and great beats and stuff that's still happening all over the world. Now we got to be diggers in the digital crates. Afrika Bambaataa's favorite food is hard to say when you travel from country to country, town to town, city to city, and taste so much variety of great food. But it's definitely one of the greatest tastes of food I always love is West Indian and Indian from India and Italiano. Well, definitely researching, studying law, visiting people, and definitely staying with spirituality. Without spirituality, you go crazy.
Absolutely, thank you. Dare to struggle, dare to win, dare to break out of the chains we in. Dare to struggle, dare to win, dare